Good evening, I'm Clarice Tinsley. We're going to bring you a breakdown on the snow and the winter weather advisory in a moment. But first, breaking news. Eddie Ray Routh found guilty of capital murder for killing American sniper Chris Kyle and Chad Littlefield. You saw the verdict live here on Fox 4 News at 9 just a short time ago. The Erath County jury got the case just after 6:30. The verdict was read around 9:25. Fox 4's Brandon Todd live in Stephenville with more. Brandon.
Right, Clarice, and that means that the jury deliberated shortly under 2 hours to come to that verdict. As you mentioned, you watched it live here on Fox 4. We'll let you listen to it right now.
Mr. Routh, if you'll please stand. All right, we, the jury, find the defendant Eddie Ray Routh guilty of the felony offense of capital murder as charged in the indictment. That verdict is signed by Ms. Stafford as foreperson of the jury. You may be seated at this time. You wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the request to have the jury polled has been made at this time. What I will do at this point is individually we'll start at the first seat, first juror, and I will ask you the same question of each and every juror. Is this a unanimous verdict of the jury? You have to answer out loud. Yes. Juror number 2, is this a unanimous verdict? Yes. Juror number 3, is this a unanimous verdict? Yes. Juror number 4? Yes, sir. Juror number 5? Yes, sir. Juror number 6? Yes, sir. Juror number 7?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 8?
Yes.
Juror number 9?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 10?
Yes.
Juror number 11?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 12?
Yes, sir.
All right, this completes your services, jurors, in this matter, and I will receive and accept your verdict in this matter. I will hand it to the clerk to have it filed with the papers of the court at this time. All right, Mr. Routh, if you'll please stand again. Having received and accepted the jury's verdict in this matter, by statute, I will now impose sentence in this matter at confinement for life in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice without the possibility of parole. That's the verdict of this court, and I will enter judgment accordingly. You may be seated at this time again.
Now, right after that verdict was read, all recording devices ceased, and then the impact statement was read. The impact statement was read by 2 people, Chad Littlefield's half-brother and Chad Littlefield's father. They addressed Eddie Ray Routh directly, telling him that Chad was trying to help them and saying to him, "Your acts have put you in a world you cannot escape." Shortly after that, Chad Littlefield's mother came out and addressed the media, and here's a little bit of what she had to say.
We just want to say that we've waited 2 years for God to get justice for us on behalf of our son. And as always, God has proved to be faithful. And we're so thrilled that we have the verdict that we have tonight.
And Clarice, this was a day filled with some of the most graphic crime scene testimony that we have heard thus far in the trial. The testimony, the witnesses started out with that early in the day. The first one, Howard Ryan, he was a blood stain forensics expert, talking about the crime scene, saying Chris Kyle was shot multiple times at close range in a concentrated area on the right side of his body, and even while he still had ear protection on. The expert saying at one point he was facing away from the shooter and never saw it coming. That expert then testified that Chad Littlefield was shot several times in the back and head, and most of those shots hitting him after he dropped to his knees. Now, jury heard phone calls that Routh made from jail, talking about Routh saying, "It tore me up inside. I don't know why I did it. I just did." you live and learn. The prosecutors all along trying to paint a picture of a man who knew what he was doing and knew that it was wrong. Defense attorneys, of course, claiming that he had schizophrenia, blaming it on that, and also PTSD. Clarice, and obviously in the end, the jurors sided with the prosecution's side of this case, going with a guilty verdict. And then, as you heard, Routh sentenced to life in prison. Clarice.
And we heard from the Littlefield family. What about Taya Kyle, Brandon?
She was not in the courtroom when that verdict was read. Those that are close to her or have been close to her throughout this trial told me earlier she just couldn't do it. She did hear the verdict, but she was not in the courtroom when it was read, and she has not, and we are told does not intend to, make any statements to the media here, at least tonight.
Brandon Todd, live in Stephenville. Thank you.